Hi friends, this is Bamboo Love coming to you today with a new A thought. And the A thought for today is step out of the darkness and into the light. And with this cool new hype around vampires and the Eclipse movie and the show True Blood, which by the way I'm a huge fan of, we come to realize that we as humans were not created in the darkness. We are actually children of the light. And even though this whole vampire thing is cool, I'm not a vampire, and I don't know if any of you guys are, but if you're not a vampire, then you're actually a child of the light. And we need to start living that way. Like, we're actually children of something bigger than ourselves. We were born into something bigger than ourselves. And a lot of times we don't realize that because we cut that part off within us. And that's the part that I call inner ambiance, the part inside of us that will shine through and shine light into this world. And that is what each of us are called to do. Each of us have our own light, and our own light shines in many different ways. And you see people out there that live with a purpose. Some people's light shines and they become great doctors. Some people's light shines and they're great performers. Some people light shines and they become these multimedia TV moguls. So everybody's light is absolutely different, but each of us do have a light, and it is our responsibility with this light that we have given to shine through. Now, what happens a lot of the times is most of us are used to being in the dark. And what I call darkness is a lot of times fear. We're scared. We live most of our lives scared, and we spend our lives making decisions being scared. Decisions that we make, we usually do not make out of love or passion. We make because we're scared of something. So we decide to go to college because we're scared that if we don't, we won't find a job. Or we decide to get security for our house because not because we love our house and we want our family to be safe, because we think that if we don't, someone's gonna break in. And I'm very aware that these things happen in the world, but there's a difference in stepping out of the darkness and doing things because we love things and we enjoy things, and doing things because we're actually scared of things. So the darkness gets a lot of times it is created by something we call in metaphysical terms the ego. That is what the ego does. It wants us to be in the dark. It wants us to be scared. It takes over absolutely everything about us, especially our minds, that create these fearful thoughts that something horrible is going to happen to us if we don't self-protect, and if we don't find or put ourselves in the cocoon in this dark place in the middle of nowhere where no one's going to find us, and that's where we're going to be the happiest. And the reality is that's not how we're the happiest. We're the happiest when we're out there, when we're doing our thing, when we're stepping out and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So it's a difficult thing to do, to step in the light, but it's important that we do, so that we can begin to transform this world that we live in. So there's a couple of people out there that talk about this, and one of the authors that I love reading is Deepak Chopra. And let me read something that he wrote about this. It says, our thoughts influenced by external factors, money, worries, job stress, relationships, tensions, end up hindering our spiritual development, and we find ourselves moving in a direction opposite from what we want to go. And this is our walk back into the darkness. And we're not meant to be living in the dark. It's cool that vampires, sleep at night and they go in their coffins. But like I said, we're not vampires. So it's not cool for us to be scared of things and to not do what we're supposed to do, or what we feel in our hearts that we're meant to do, because we're scared of something. I know it's difficult. I know for me, when I started videotaping myself, at first I was like, this is weird. I'm not used to hearing myself talking. What are people going to think? That's me in the dark. Me, I live in a small town, so technically I can stay in the middle of nowhere and no one's ever going to see me, and probably no one ever would come looking for me. Maybe just the people that care about me. But deep down inside, I knew, no, I need to step out and step into the light and be this creature that I was created to be this beautiful creation that I'm meant to be. And actually, by doing that, help others find their own light and live their own light, because that's really what we're meant to do. I know the Bible sometimes is not cool with people, but I think Jesus is a pretty cool guy. I was like I used to wear that shirt, Jesus is my homeboy shirt, and he talks about it in Matthew 4:15, and he talks about it when he says, you are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. So this is explaining to us that this is who we're meant to be. And when he talks about the world, he's not the planet, but the things that cover up our light. So the things like fears, worries, attack on terrorism, or just the terrorism itself, and just the job cuts. And it's about us making sure that we stay in that zone, that we maintain this inner ambience, this spirit of light, because things are always going to happen. Jobs are always going to cut, recessions will happen, wars will happen. I've come out, my generation, and I've already been like cut from one job just out of sudden, and potentially another job coming up is just gonna disappear because there's no money. So I could be sitting here thinking, okay, what am I gonna do next? And I know a lot of people are thinking that about their houses, about their jobs. People in college are thinking there is no job out there to be found. This is all because of the fear. This is all because that is the state that we're in. We're living in the state of fear, and it's really not letting us let this light shine through. And it's each of our responsibilities as individuals. It's not my responsibility to say to someone else, hey, your light's not shining. That's not the point. The point is that I have to be responsible for my own light. As my light shines, and this is the cool thing about light, it's like a flashlight. Unless you cover up the flashlight, it'll only shine right there. But usually when you shine light, and that illuminates not only the space that's right there, but it illuminates other things around the space. So all you gotta be concerned about is your own light. You start shining your own light, and other people are gonna catch on and maybe say, hey, what's going on with that girl? How come she's all cool even though she's getting laid off? Maybe I need some of that. And that is your responsibility, not to point to someone else that they're not shining their light. You shine your light and you worry about theirs. And I work with kids every day, and kids love to tell you what other kids are doing wrong. And I always tell them, you mind your business. You do what you're supposed to do, and you let them worry about what they're supposed to be doing. And as long as we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, then eventually we will create enough energy to transform this planet and really live the life that we were meant to live. A life of light, of miracles, a life full of love. This is the eighth thought. The eighth thought is step out of the darkness and into the light. Have the courage. That is where you were meant to be. It's just we're too used to being in the dark. So don't think it's something new, and maybe actually it is something new. But take the chance, take the risk, step out. This is Bamboo Love. Live life and create.